Good morning, sunshines. Happy Saturday, the 22nd of March, 2025. I'm Heather, known as Bunnyfish on all the internet places. And today is the first day of spring break. I am doing a staycation, which is lovely. And it means that I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to do anything. Just like regular spring cleaning stuff. And I have some projects to finish. So this morning I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna hang out with my puppy Busty, and we're gonna watch a podcast or two before I head home. Because I stayed the night at my boyfriend's, and then I'm going to show you things that I want to work on. Are you perfect? Are you a beautiful girl? You are. Do you love your squeaky mouse? Rabbit? Sorry, the last one was a mouse. This one's a rabbit. I'm sorry. That was offensive. I'm sorry, little rabbit. Okay. You beauteous girl. Look at you. She's just very perfect. All right, friends, I'm home. It is dreary out. We might get some rain. We just had some wintry mix for a hot minute. It's springtime in Michigan. But the weather hasn't, like the temperature hasn't been fluctuating a ton, so I'm feeling okay today. Like the migraine is still there, but it's a little migraine. Anyway, I'm here with some plans and stuff. So is that better? I feel like that might be better because it's dreary here. Okay, my big goal is to finish this blanket. I have 16 squares finished and attached out of 25, which means I need to make 9 squares, but I also have, I think it's 8 squares that I want to do surface crochet on, plus a border. I have 9 days of spring break, so like a square a day, but then a square a day plus other things. So I might start surface crocheting today a little bit. It could be a thing. I don't know. I also want to finish 2 books for sure. So I'm reading Empire of Storms and Tower of something. Doing a tandem read. So I want to finish both of these books. Let's see. I think I'm about 40% through both, so that should be totally doable now that I am actually going to read every single day. Sometimes when I'm teaching, I don't have the spoons to read after school. And I also want to finish the Romantasy Socks, so that's upside down. So I'm in the second heart right here, so I still have to do the heel, the gusset, the foot, the toe. Again, this feels very doable. So that'll be my focus project after I finish this blanket. And then I have some stretch goals. So over here, stretch goals. This is a Ruby the Lovable, Huggable Monster. And this has been where I've been putting my yarn ends, a little bit of stuffing from, I don't even know where that stuffing came from. But my best friend just cleaned out her house. She just moved house. I'm so excited for her. She has her first, her actual house. It's amazing. And she gave me 2 giant bags of stuffing. So I think I'm just going to finish off Ruby and then start something else to hold the yarn ends, because I always want something to be a receptacle for the yarn ends. But I just feel like it's time for Ruby to be finished, especially because Nikki really liked Ruby. And so I kind of want to give Nikki Ruby and the blanket at the same time. But again, stretch goal. I have this second sock that I'm working on. It's just a stockinette, easy peasy. So maybe that could be finished. If it doesn't get finished, it's okay. But at least past the heel turn and heel flap, so when I go back to school, it's easy peasy knitting without thinking, because yeah, I'm getting pretty close to the heel turn. I have this many rounds. If I finish both of the books I'm reading, I want to finish reading Hip Hop His History. I haven't really read it that much in the past month, maybe month and a half. So I want to get back to it. It's really, really interesting. I'm that far into it. Yeah, it's about the history of hip hop and like stories of where things started and stuff. And I really like that. And then maybe I want to finish this hood. I intend to work on this intermittently, like 30 stitches here and there. So I would kind of like it to get done this week. It's never going to be a focus project because that will hurt my hands. But like making sure it's kept in rotation, making sure I'm picking it up a few times a day at least. But the thing that I'm really excited about is I am test driving my 100-day project this week. I'm pretty excited about it. So I've written out the second digit of the temperature in right here, so 0 through 9, and then each second digit got assigned a project. So I'm pretty excited for that. 2 of these projects haven't been started yet, so I might be casting some new things on this week. I don't know, but I am going to record. I think I'm just going to record what the temperature is at the exact moment that I want to start working on the thing. And my plan for this is to work on that project for an hour that day. It doesn't have to be all at once because we all know that I can't do that. I need to like sprinkle other things in, partially for hand fatigue, partially because ADHD. So I'm excited for this. Let's look at the temperature. It's 37 degrees right now, which means I am going to join some hexies. So my goal for the year is to join 100 hexies. So today I'm going to grab out 100 hexies, I guess. I haven't even set up the project, I don't think. So grab out 100 hexies, get ready to start joining them to the blanket intermittently, and do an hour's worth of work. All right, so here we are. Here's the blanket. It's been a hot minute since I've shown it, so it's on my lap right now, so you can't see the whole thing. But here's one edge, here's the other edge, and I'm kind of just adding to it until it's wide enough and long enough, and then we'll work our way across. So, as you can see, these are very secure together, but you can kind of see in a lot of the corners that the corners were held together with a different yarn. I can't remember. This is the Beekeeper's quilt. I can't remember if that's how the pattern said to put it together or if that's just how I thought it should be put together. But I tried that and I didn't like it because when you do that, the hexies kind of look like this and they're very loosey-goosey and kind of gappy, and I don't like that. So this is attached to the blanket, but not really attached. So semi-attached, but not fully attached to the blanket are 74 hexies. So I have those. And then I have these, which I'm saying are 7 hexies that need to be attached. So I'm counting that as 7 because that can just be those 7 attached and then we're good. And then I found this ready for me. So again, like another grouping, it's 16 that need to be sewn together and sewn to the blanket. And then to make up the full 100, I have these 3 right here. So I'm going to put these loose ones away, these 2 loose ones. I think I'm going to sew this on today and then see how far I can get sewing up these 74 in an hour. I'm probably going to do 15-minute chunks. Like 15 minutes seems like a good amount of time to do that in. So yeah, let's get started. So this is exciting. Well, first the not exciting part. So I pulled out the blanket and I started sewing on the main body portion, and it smelled funky. So I finished the strand of yarn that I was using because I had a length of yarn in this needle from when my boyfriend asked if I could show him how to fix commercial socks. Anyway, so I finished that off, and now the blanket is in the washing machine. Yes, it's in the washing machine. It's on cold. It's on delicate. It's just going through a rinse cycle with some wool wash. And then I'm going to hang it to dry. But I needed more yarn to do more sewing. It takes about 15 minutes to do a length of yarn. And I was actually looking for one of the blues that I used in the preemie hats last month, but instead I found this, which is a lace weight, which I think is actually even better because what am I going to use this lace weight for? Nothing. It's been, this little nugget of lace weight has been in my stash for probably 10 years, but it's lace weight. Like, what am I going to use it for? Sewing together this blanket, obvi. So that's exciting. But I also found this nugget, which is a Patton's Croy yarn that I forgot had gotten mixed in with my blues. So I'm going to go put this Patton's Croy with my other Patton's Croy so that I have more, so that it's in the right spot for scrappy socks for my oldest kiddo. Ba-da-ba-da. Okay, so the first 15 is done. I'm going to go work on something else and work on 15 more later. All right, it is many hours later, but I've just put in the, hour worth of work on this blanket. So I did some on the main piece. I did one strand on the main piece because that's about 15 minutes. And so 3 strands on this other piece, the 16 that I needed to add, and I only have a few places that aren't seamed together. So that's exciting. So I don't know. What do we say? This is like 10, 11, 12 or so things that were seamed plus whatever I did on the blanket. So 15 hexies added in an hour, maybe we'll go with. That's not so bad. This is totally a doable goal. I can do this. I also finished one of the skull squares on the blanket, so I'm at 17 squares attached on the blanket out of 25, so that's good. I've started the next green square because that makes the most sense for what I need to attach, even though I have the 2 other skull squares started. What I need next to make things work are several green squares. So I started one, and I also started the border because this border is gorgeous. I love how it looks, but it is so labor intensive. So it's basically color A, single crochet, chain 3, color B, single crochet, chain 3, with color A, single crochet, right here, single crochet but go behind color B, and then chain 3, and then color B, single crochet but behind the chain from color A, and chain 3. So it's switching your hook a lot and moving the yarn a lot, and the yarn does get twisted, so I'm going to have to untwist soonish. But if I can just, so if you're new here, you don't know, let me explain how things work. First of all, for hand health reasons, because I need to take breaks from doing things, but also because ADHD is a thing. And for hand health, if I don't put okay, I'm going to work on this and then move somewhere else, I will just hyper focus to the point where My best friend and I just actually had this conversation because she woke up in pain and I was like, what do you think you did? And she was like, I don't know, because we both, like compartmentalize too well. Like pain is a later problem. Like do the thing, deal with the pain later. It's not so great. But I will totally do that if I don't think, hey, I should probably pause. So like working on the blanket, crocheting all the way through my lunch is fine. But sitting down for hours and crocheting on the blanket, not so fine for my hands. So anyway, every time I do a rotation, which right now is doing a round or half a round or a side on the blanket, square, depending on what round of the square I'm at. And then also doing 30 stitches on the cowl, doing a round on the pink sock, and doing 5 of those chains on the edge of the blanket. And I was doing a strand of the hexies, but that's done now, so that's out of rotation. So that's what my rotation looks like. So it's going to take me days and days and days to do the border. And then hopefully by the time all of the squares are on and the appliques or surface crochet or whatever is on, hopefully I'll be close, like maybe only have one side left to border, and then I'll just work on it then. But doing it in little teeny chunks like this works really, really well for me. Hello, sunshines! Good morning. It's Sunday, the first Sunday of spring break. And I am putting on sparkle freckles because, of course, I need sparkle freckles for spring break, obviously. I'm also going to dye my hair today because, of course, I need to be my most me self now. Again, I ordered this. They used to carry this at Ulta, but they don't anymore. And it's my favorite hair color. So I ordered some. So I'm going to dye my hair today too. What else do I need to do today? I need to wash my pillowcases. They're silk, so like I have to hand wash them. And I have some laundry to put away and like general tidying up. But then my plan is mostly just crafting. So let's see what the temperature is. It's just barely morning. I had stuff to do this morning, so it's, oh no. Oh, this isn't going to bode well. So this is what I was knowing. This is half of a picture frame, but it's not that bad. The glass is intact. That's what I was worried about. Okay, anyway, let's figure out what my temperature project is for today. It is 36 degrees, and 6 means that I'm working on Karma's socks. So I am going to time myself doing a round on Karma's socks to see how many rounds I need to do in order to equal an hour, because of course I'm not going to just sit down and work on it for an hour. Okay, so I just timed myself. It takes me about 3¼ minutes-ish to make a full round, because again, these needles aren't like the join issue, so they don't slide very smoothly. So whatever, that's how long it takes me to do a full round, which means I need to do about just over 18 rounds to equal an hour of work, which means I need to get this marker over here until there's only 7 stitches left on the leg. So I'll be working on these intermittently throughout the day, but that's the goal. So I finished doing the amount of rounds that I wanted to do, so I can take this project off being my focus project and put it on like a tangential project that I might work on some more today, or I might just put it away, and work on Nikki's blanket. But look at how pretty they are. Oh, I hope my sister's oldest kiddo likes them. I have 7 rounds before I'm going to try it on my calf and see how tall it is, because, you know, like length of socks looks different when it's on the round object versus when it's just chilling flat. So yeah, I did the quota. I'm happy that I did the quota. I did also change earlier than I thought I was going to. I did change to the size 1 needles because just the size 2 with that what am I trying to say? Like, it had that gap, so the join wasn't smooth, and it was not enjoyable. So I switched to the size 1s sooner than I thought I was going to, but it's fine. I think that they're looking good. And it was enjoyable. And yeah, now they're so much closer to being done. I mean, it's probably that much work, right? That's a lot. That's a lot of work that I did on these today. So I'm going to work on the blanket, but I'm going to show you what I have together right now because I'm pretty excited. Okay, so here we are. I have 19 squares attached. The square up here is not attached. So if I can, my goal for today is get this green square attached, and that will take it to 21 squares because it'll be this green square and it'll attach that, which would be so exciting. I am still doing the border. I'm still working on it. I'm not very far. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's just tedious, but I'm going to love it so much. It's going to look so, so cool. I mean, I already think it looks really cool. So it's worth it, but yeah. Ooh, I'm at 19 squares attached. This could be done by like Wednesday if I keep going at this pace. Well, the squares, and could be done by Wednesday. And then I just have the border and some appliques or surface crochet. So it's going really good. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. Hey, sunshine. So my hair is a mess. It's fine, but look at how green it is. Oh, it's so good. It's so green. And I got my sparkle freckles. I'm so excited. I feel like the most me right this minute. And I'm excited that these sparkle freckles last for up to a week, which is how long I have. I am excited that my hair is re-dyed. I was like, oh, I don't want to do it. It takes so much effort. It doesn't take that much effort. It takes like maybe 15 minutes to put the green dye in my hair. It's not that big of a deal. The only thing that I have left to do to make me feel like the most me is I need to paint my nails black. Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, we'll see. But this square is in. It is attached, so I officially have 21 squares attached. It's only 5 p.m., so much knitting time left in my day, crochet time, whatever. So I'm not going to work on a square, I don't think. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the border intermittently and this sock. So I have this sock and I have the first sock, and the first sock is only 2 rounds away from being at the heel. So I think I'm going to try to put in the heel tonight. I think that's what I'm going to do. And just enjoy that the blanket is getting closer and keep working on the border. Good morning, sunshines. It's Monday, March 24th, and it is 40 degrees out. So let's see what that looks like. Oh, exciting. Socks for Mer. So this is going to be a new cast on. My fingers are tinted green right now. Hazard of dyeing my hair at my house. So that's exciting. That is going to be a new cast on, and my daughter and I are about to go out for Starbucks, so she needed my order. But anyway, this is going to be a new cast on. I haven't started the socks for my best friend, and I am going to use a Franken socks kit or mix and match some Franken socks. I don't know. This is going to be a whole thing. This is going to be a whole thing. Are you excited? I'm excited. As soon as I get back from Starbucks. All right, friends. So I've pulled out the Franken Socks kits. Some of them were in opaque bags, so I put them on top. So this is Camp Blood, Natural History. This one didn't have its tag in it, so I don't know what it's called. This one's called In the Name of the Moon. I feel like these have to be socks for me. Maybe my sister, because they are kind of more her colors with the pinks and the purples. But it's 80% superwash or merino, 20% nylon, and 25-gram mini skeins. So if I do fingers and toes, heels and toes in a different color, I can probably get a pair for me and my sister out of that. So this I'm not going to use for my bestie. But I think I'm going to pick some minis from each thing for my bestie, because she really likes aquas and teals and things like that. And then my sister really loves purple. My aunt really loves pink, and my best friend hates pink. So yeah, I have this one that I can break into also. This one, I'm kind of thinking, so this is a self-striping. I'm kind of thinking, I haven't 100% decided. This is a self-striping, yeah, just a Franken Socks self-striping. And this is a, what is it called? Happy Hollow Thanksmas or something? Hollow Thanksmas. Yeah, so I'm kind of thinking that maybe this might be my advent kit for this holiday season, to make my oldest kiddo some advent socks. Like on the weekends, grab a 10, on weekdays, grab a 5, and make socks. So that's what I'm thinking for these two. And that one's for me. So I have 5 kits that I kind of want to pull and make a pair of socks for my sister, a pair of socks for my aunt, a pair of socks for my bestie, and then the rest I will use in blankets or in scrappy socks for my oldest kiddo. Those are my thoughts. I'm so excited. I guess I better pick my first couple minis and get started. So I've decided I'm going to use the Basically Vanilla by Jennifer Bolo. I don't know. I can't. Alendria Knits. I test knit this pattern, so I super like it. And it is made for 25 minis. I'm not saying I'm going to use 25 minis. I might repeat some of them. I might not, though. I may just go through 25 minis. I am going to use gray Knit Pick Stroll for the cuffs, heels, and toes. But I'm excited. I've decided to start with some of the yarns from the Snowflake bag, because I just feel like these are like perfect for my best friend. Hey sunshines, it is Monday mid-afternoon, and I only need 2 more squares on the blanket. But okay, so this is how far I am on the border. I don't think I have enough green. This is all the slime that I have left. So this one is attached to the border. It's a little smaller. This one is attached to nothing, and it's a little bigger. So I think I'm going to pause on the border, and maybe I won't do that border. Well, probably definitely won't do that border. I don't know. I guess it depends on what it looks like when I make a square out of this. That will tell me if I'm going to make a border using slime or just a border in black. If I have to pull out the border, that's fine. The border that I have right now. But yeah, I'm going to stop on the border. I'm going to do the 2 squares, not tonight, but between today and tomorrow, and see. I'm going to do the square and see where it takes me, so I can make a decision about the border. but only 2 squares to go. And then border and surface crochet. So getting really close. Also, I've done well over an hour of work on this sock for my best friend, but it's just so pretty. And I've already used, I think this is colors like 9 and 10. It's just so satisfying to just change the colors out so frequently. It's so pretty. So I'm more than halfway through the leg because I like to do 70 rounds including the cuff for the leg, and right here is 30. So yeah, I am going to finish the rounds that I can do with these two before the next color change, and I'm going to put it away for the day and work on one of my other projects. I'm going to the movies tomorrow, so I really need to get this sock, I think, to through the heel flap, because I can, once I get the gusset picked up, I can work on this at the movies. I think I might also take this hooded cowl project to work on at the movies, but I'll probably only get a couple rows in on it because it hurts my hands, so I don't even know if it's worth taking. Maybe it'll just be the sock tomorrow. I don't know. Or maybe I'll take a square to do tomorrow also, the last square. I don't know, but that's tomorrow, so I guess I'll see you then. Lies, it's Monday night. I'm gonna check in. It's bedtime. So I got the sock through the heel. It's into the gusset. Yay. Ready for movie knitting tomorrow. I should have put away the sock, but didn't. I just couldn't not work on it. But now I'm to the heel, so I'm gonna put it away. And after I put in the heel, which is going to be the same gray, which is not going to be tomorrow, unless this is tomorrow's project too. I am going to, this direction. I'm going to repeat the color order down the foot. And then I think for the second sock, I might reverse the color order. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. But I knit a whole sock leg today, and amongst the other things that I worked on. And I think, well, I'm definitely going to do the border, the fancy border, because I'm on I think I've started the 9th round on the square. Yes, I've started the 9th round. I'm halfway through. I have this much yarn left from the bigger ball. So I'm going to attach this square in the morning and then take this to the movies and make as much of the last square as possible, and then finish it when I get home. And then I should still have enough to do the border, I'm thinking. So I'm going to go ahead with the border as it was going. Yeah. I also worked on my sister's oldest kiddo's socks a little bit. I got to the part where I thought maybe I was going to put the heel, but it's just a teeny tiny bit short. So I'm going to do 10 more rounds. And I also worked on the hood, and I finished the second ball of mohair today, so that's cool. I've started the 3rd ball, and I need to read now because I haven't read all day, and if I want to finish 3 books this week, I mean, their books have already started, but if I want to finish them, I have to try to read them. So I at least want to get through those too, right? I gotta do some reading today. I'm probably gonna pass out as soon as I start reading. It's fine. Good morning, sunshines. Today is Tuesday, the 25th of March. How are you? I am okay. I'm just waking up. I didn't wake up until 6:45. It's now 6:50. So if my voice sounds a certain way, it's because I just woke up. What? I slept so late. That's so nice. Okay, it is 31 degrees outside. Let's see what I'm working on today. Oh, okay, corner to corner. Cool. Yeah. That means my minis used up is gonna go up by a lot today. Okay. Okay, so here's my corner to corner. I will spread it out this afternoon sometime because that just sounds like way too much work first thing in the morning. I don't want to get out of bed is what it really is. So here's my corner to corner. I am working it on a US K hook. I put in 2 stitch markers so I could kind of remember where I was when I started. I'm not very far into this row. I am on the decrease section of this blanket, and I'm using 3 strands of fingering weight held together. So 3 strands. One strand is I bought some yarn for this blanket, which for a very, very long time, I was like, no, I can't buy yarn just for my scrappy blankets. But why not? So I bought yarn for it. I think this is the second of the 3rd ball, but maybe this is the 3rd ball. I don't remember. Well, when this ball runs out, I will check to see. And then the second strand right now is a sock that I'm frogging. It's just a really old sock that I lost the pair for, and I could have given it to one of my kiddos to wear as a single sock, but I just wanted to add it to this blanket instead. This was a Stitch Surfer, and I had so much fun making it, and I loved this yarn, but I didn't get very much wear out of it because I lost the first sock probably when I moved up from Kentucky. This was made when I lived in Kentucky, which was like 9 years ago. It's a very old sock that didn't get much wear. So I'm ripping it out and putting it into this blanket. And then the 3rd strand is currently, I have all these minis that my friend Haley sent to me, and some of them are being set aside for other blankets. So I'm kind of just going through it. I'm like, do I want you for one of my other scrappy blankets? Do I want you for this corner to corner blanket? If you're new here, you won't know this, but I have a lot of scrappy blankets going. So what do I have going? I'm going to be looking around my room, seeing if I can identify how many scrappy blankets I have. I have a mitered square blanket. I have a barn raising square blanket. I have 2 hexie blankets going. I have a granny square reading blanket. I have a nor'easterly, a bias strip blanket, a crocheted flower, like an African flower blanket, I have a linen stitch blanket, and I have this corner to corner. Are there any others? I feel like that's all of them. I have 10 scrappy blankets going. That's a lot. That's a lot. I'm not trying to have 10 scrappy blankets going. That's how my life is right now. And has been for a long time. Even though I finished so many scrappy blankets a few years ago. I don't remember what year, but I did Year of the Blankets. And I finished like 3 or 4 scrappy blankets. But I just keep casting them on because I love them so much. But I am going to finish this corner to corner this year, and I need the linen stitch blanket finished for next year, and then I need one of the Hexapuff blankets finished the year after that, and then I need the flower blanket finished 2 years after that. So some of these blankets are going to get finished. Whatever. The joy of the blankets is the process. Like, I like the finished objects too, but it's the process. I like making them. So yeah, I'm going to put on an episode of Wheel of Time, which is wildly all over the place. I watched the whole season 1 yesterday. I've listened to the audiobooks of all of the books. I read the first book when I was in college and then just didn't read anymore, and listened to the audiobooks probably 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Excuse me. But I must not have finished season 1 when it came out. If I recall, they were coming out weekly, and I was watching them with my then boyfriend. So I don't know, was that like at the end of our relationship maybe that it came out? Is that why I didn't finish it? Don't remember. But I'm watching it now because now there's a season 3 even, and I want to see how weird it is. So, like, compared to the books, it's just like it's jumping all over the place timeline wise. There's characters who don't exist in the book who are in the show. So yeah, we'll see. All right, so in an hour I did maybe the equivalent of a row and a little. A lot of that though was because I was ripping out the sock, which now looks like this, and I used up 3 minis. So I guess I never think about how long crafting actually takes, but it doesn't bother me. Like, I want this to be finished this year, but just this year. Blankets are my scrappy blankets are long-term projects. I know some people sit down and just bang them out. That's not me. That's not what I need them for. I do have deadlines for some of them because I want them to be graduation from high school presents, but I have time. Hey sunshines, just back from the movies. I am actually going to put a little card right up there of my kiddo's reaction video to the movie, so you can hear what I think about it. We went and saw Snow White, and I brought 3 projects but only worked on 2. So I got the last square for the blanket to the 9th round, and then I ran out of yarn, so I'm gonna have to pull from that other skein of yarn. So I've just started the 9th round. There's 10 rounds, so I'm about ready to attach this, which is so exciting. So I'll definitely be working on the border today. Hopefully I can get the first side finished. I think I'm at 3 squares out of 5, or close to 3 squares out of 5 bordered. And then I also took the pink sock. I finished the gusset. I am just over halfway down the foot, so that is exciting. So pretty sure I'm finishing this sock this week. But right now I am going to chill. I should start some laundry soon, but I just got home, so I'm going to watch an episode of Wheel of Time and work on some stuff, and then I will do some cleaning. Anybody else need to recalibrate when they get in the house? Or are you like, you're fine, like you walk in and you can just do things? I can't do that. Good morning, sunshines. It's Wednesday, the 26th of March, and it's 32 degrees outside. So, another new project today. I am going to start on my oldest kiddo's thigh highs. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of a daunting project because it takes a long time, but on the bright side. So last time I made my kiddo thigh highs, I was going from scratch. This time I kind of have some of the pattern written. So this is, I don't have the full pattern written. I actually have to fix a hole in one of the thigh highs. So maybe I'll do that today too. I think I did this on a US size 1. I didn't write it down, but I'm pretty sure I was on a size 1. And then I changed to a 0 when I got to like the calf section. I believe. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hope it works. So I have in my Totoro bag, I have this hat that I started for myself that I didn't get very far. It's in the black yarn that I want. Maybe actually though, because I have a lot of the orange. Okay, changed my mind, but not really. I'm going to rip out this hat is where I'm going with this. Because while I do want a black slouchy hat, I'm not in the mood to make one right now. And I'm going to be using Knit Pick Stroll. And I have those two little leftovers. I have this skein. I have some other skeins of the black from last year when I ordered for my kiddo's thigh high because I didn't know how much I was going to need. So maybe I have enough for this sock. Maybe I don't. Who knows? But anyway, I'm going to rip this out and use it. But I think I'm going to start with the orange yarn because on this one I started with the black yarn, or not this one, on the other thigh highs I started with the black yarn. I'll show you the other one in a minute. It's near me, but it's not like right within reach. I also today want to finish a couple things. So here's the blanket, and I have one side of the last square to attach. And then all of the squares are attached, and then I just have to do the border and any applique or surface crochet that I'm going to do. That's possibly finishable today. I would like to get that finished, or at least the border finished today. I think that's a good goal. I also have this pink sock. So I hung out with my boyfriend last night, and while we were hanging out, I took the pink sock because it was really easy, really portable, and look at all that progress I made. So I don't know if I have this many rounds left to go to the toe. That's where I'm going to be measuring it against the first sock to see if I have more to go. It's somewhere between 5 and 10 rounds. So very close to finished with this sock. So I'd like to finish this sock today too. I think that would be a good goal. I'm also going to be working on not all of, but several of the other projects. Karma's socks, the Romantasy sock a little bit, the hood a little bit. So I'll be working on a lot of things, but these two things I would like to be finished today, but this is going to be my focus. The blanket's going to be my focus. So yeah, we'll see what we can do. Oh, I also have to start laundry. Boo. Boo. But first, I'm going to get out my Swift and wind some yarn. Okay, since we have some new viewers in the place, these are the thigh highs that I made for my kiddo last year. They picked out the colors, and yeah, they love them. They wear them all the time. Well, they haven't in the past probably month because I need to fix this one, so I held them both hostage. And as you can see, I have the passes going vertically. I just need to do the horizontal passes for the darning, so maybe I'll do that today. And I have my Swift out, I have my ball winder out, and I am going to get ready to wind up Cattails yarn, colorway Gleeman's Cloak from the Wheel of Time collection, which feels very appropriate because I'm going to work on this while I'm watching an episode of the Wheel of Time. So I'm pretty excited about it. And I have my yarn for my provisional cast on. I just need to get my needle. Is it in the black yarn, or is that a size 0? Because I want a size 1. The hat is on a 0, so I'll be using my size 1. Don't mind my bent needle. I'm so bad about that sometimes. Like, I'll be doing so good and then all of a sudden I'll just bend a needle out of nowhere. ADHD life. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna get started on this. I was super excited actually to cast these on, even though I know it's a lot of work. This is where I am as far as the pattern writing. I've written this part in my notebook, so maybe I'll write some more today. I should write some more today and finish mending this so my kiddo can actually wear it a little bit more before it gets hot, which hopefully won't be for another couple months, but still. An hour in, and I wound the yarn, did the cast on, and made it about halfway through the first round, or not the first round, the first section. So that's pretty good. I'm going to put this away now. I don't feel the need to continue working on it at this time, and I'm going to start on the blanket and the sock. If I finish something today, I'll be back. Good morning, sunshine. Today is Thursday, March 27th. It's my best friend's birthday. It's a good day. She is busy. She is doing the schoolwork thing because she is trying to be a social worker someday. She's going to be amazing at it. So, anyway, it's 36 degrees out. Do we know what 6 is? I don't know if we've had 6 before. Oh, we did. We had 6 before. 6 was Karma's Socks, and that was like the first day of break. So, all right, cool. So these are Karma's Socks. They have the gray yarns on the inside. I did the math and I needed like 18, just over 18 rounds for an hour's worth of work, but I only have 10 rounds until I get to the heel. So I think today is going to be a heel day. I think I'm going to put in those 10 rounds and then do one of the heels. Maybe both if I'm feeling it, but definitely one of the heels in. Exciting. Also, you'll just have to trust me on this, but this, maybe you can see the tails where I wove them in, maybe. This is the final corner on the blanket. So the border is complete on the blanket. I just have to do the surface crochet and appliques on it. I am hoping to have this and the pink socks actually finished today because I'm on the toe of the pink socks. So today might be a good day for that. It's also, I was thinking it's a heel day because I am on the heel of the Romantasy Socks, so I would kind of like to finish the heel on that too. All right, sunshines, here is the finished blanket. Da-da-da-da. I kind of thought maybe I would do more than just a spider and a spider web, but I actually think if I add more, it'll be too much. Like, I like the rest space on it. And I'm ready to be done with the blanket. So yay! Blanket is finished. This is my leftover blanket yarn. So I think I'm going to make a square for my future middle school blanket. And then I'll save the rest for my corner to corner middle school blanket that I'm using. Or making, I mean. And I also finished, yes, this is my setup for while I'm watching things on my computer so that I'm not looking down at the screen. I also finished the pink socks, so that's exciting. I'm going to wash them, block them. I'm making for someone who I work with, so I will have them ready on Monday, which is exciting. And yeah, now on to Karma's Socks. I am to the heel of the first one. I've started the first heel, so I'm going to work on that. But 2 finishes this week. How cool is that? Hey, sunshines. Okay, so I did do, where am I? Here, I'm here. I did do 1 heel. I think it looks pretty good. Hopefully it fits. Because if you've been here, you'll know that I've only made 3 pairs of DK weight socks for myself, and this is not for me. So I'm kind of going off of my numbers, but adding a little bit because I wear a US women's 8.5, 8 maybe 9, depends on the shoe. And the kiddo that I'm making this for wears an 11 men's. So I have to scale up a little, but I did do that heel. I also finished the heel in the pink socks, and here I am with my square. So this isn't enough to give me another half round. So I cut the green out. Sorry, the light is really poor in here. It looks like evening time, but it's only 3 p.m. But it's super, super overcast outside. I think it said we might get rain today, snow, something like that. I don't know. I checked the weather a long time ago. Anyway, so here's the square. I am going to make it into a 12-inch square using the black to go around the outside. And then I'm going to put it in the stash of, well, this is the stash of, this will be the first of the stash of the blankets for the kind of random square blanket that I'm going to make for middle school. Probably next year. Maybe at the end of this year. I do have the other 2 blankets for this year planned though. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right. I am going to go have some food at my boyfriend's house. I think I'm going to take this sock with me. I don't really have, well, I kind of do. I have the second sock for this sitting in my purse. So I have purse knitting. But if I get a chance, I'd like to work on this some more. I think I need to grab another bit of black though, because this isn't going to take me through. I can't remember what the next pattern repeat is. Somewhere between 5 and 7 rounds. Is it 7? Is it 10? I don't know. Somewhere around there. Somewhere in that many numbers. So I need to grab another little black scrap and go eat some dinner. So I'll probably see you again tomorrow. It's been a hot minute since we've checked in on the worm. I'm not going to unfold it right now, but I am going to do a goals update, so you'll see the whole thing there. But look at this. I don't think I can ever go back to not having a car project. Like literally sits right there for when I'm waiting. Because do I have a project with me that I could be knitting on? Theoretically, yes. I guess I should say, hey sunshines, it's Friday morning. It's the 28th of March. And I am downtown. My littlest kiddo is running to our local coffee shop and bakery and getting some goodies for this very last day of spring break. I mean, there's the weekend too, right? But it's the last day of spring break. So she's gone off to do that. So I'm waiting in the car, and I love my car project. It's so nice to like have it be in the car waiting for when I'm waiting. Like I said, I do have a project that I could be working on, but it takes a little bit of like skill and focus to work on. So I don't really want to work on it right now because she could come back at any moment, and I don't want to be in the middle of a round and then have to make her wait, even though I would, and she wouldn't mind. And look at how much has gotten done on this project that I otherwise would not want to work on. The idea of just knitting a tube forever and ever and ever and, ever sounds so boring, but it lives in my car. And so I only work on it when I'm waiting. So it's very intermittent. It's so big now comparatively. I can't wait for you to see it on the wrap up, but I think I need to always have a project sitting right there. Something small, something super easy to pick up, a vanilla sock, a hat, something super easy peasy, but that just lives right there. So I never have to be like, oh, am I going to be stopping and waiting somewhere? Because it's already there. All right, sunshines, we are home. It is 42 degrees out, which means it's time to work on my oldest kiddo's thigh highs. So in 1 hour, I wound the yarn, did the provisional cast on, knit 8 rounds. So I think in this hour, I am going to finish. So the first section is 15 rounds. So I'm going to finish the first section, do the purl round, and then do maybe 3 rounds in the next section because it's knit 2, purl 2. So that's going to take me a little longer than straight stockinette. So yeah, that's going to be my goal today. I don't have a Wheel of Time episode to watch to time it, so I can't do that this time. I also today I'm gonna finish the sock because look at all that work I did yesterday. What? I was somewhere in the heel yesterday morning and I did 1 full repeat and I'm on the last heart repeat and I think I'm about 1/3 of the way through that. I'm also gonna have some cheesecake for breakfast. This is what my daughter picked up for me at the bakery. Oh, it looks so good. I'm so excited. And I started the heel on this sock for my bestie yesterday because it's just so pretty. It's just so pretty and I just want it to be a thing. Ooh, my hoodie. Sorry. That cuff was a little icky. I guess it's time to wash this hoodie. But it's so pretty, so I'd like to also get the heel in on that. It is not really surprising, but definitely amusing to me how much crafting I have accomplished this week, because during the school year I'm finding that I'm doing like almost none. It feels like almost none. So it's just amusing. It's amusing to me. All right, I'm gonna get started on some things. Hey, sunshines. Okay, so I have met my goal on this sock project, this thigh high project. So I'm gonna put that away. I've also finished the second Romantasy sock. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, it's so exciting. Look at that. They're both done. All of the ends are woven in. It feels really exciting to have both of my like focus projects that I wanted to finish this week finished, and I still have a whole weekend, and I finished one of my stretch goal projects. So I have 2 stretch goal projects left. I don't know if I'm going to finish them or not. We'll see. But that's really exciting. And now I have this much yarn left, which is a lot. And remember, I think it was back in January, I was talking about how maybe I would use all of my, or how I would wind off a little bit from all of my sock projects this year to make scrappy socks for my oldest kiddo. I still kind of want to do that. But I also want to put this in a bunch of my scrappy blankets. So what I think I'm going to do, not today, I mean, starting today, but not just today. But over the course of this weekend, I want to work this into my scrappy blankets. I have a scrappy cowl for my sister. So I'd kind of like to put this in all of the projects and then see how much is left. However, I have another thought where like this is kind of my sister's colors, and I kind of, now that I'm making these DK weight socks for my sister's oldest kiddo, I'm kind of like, man, maybe I should make everybody some DK weight socks this year. I'm not holding myself to that, but you remember how I'm making my sister a babillion pairs of socks, or not a babillion pairs of socks, how I'm doing a birthday countdown for my sister. And she loves socks. So like these would be fun in DK weight socks for my sister. because I purchased a skein of yarn for my sister's holiday gift, which should be here in April, so I'm going to talk about it then. But I kind of want this for a pair of DK weight socks for her. So I don't know. I'm going to put it in my scrappy blankets first, and then I'll figure out if I'm going to save it for her, if I'm going to save it for my oldest kiddo, if I'm going to maybe wind off just a little bit for my oldest kiddo and save the rest for her. I don't know. It's a lot of yarn, and it's so pretty. And then I was talking yesterday about how it was kind of a heel day. I think that was yesterday. Maybe it was the day before. But I had started, I think it was the day before, and I had started the heel flap on this sock for my best friend, and I finished the heel flap, and I have put it onto a 9-inch circular because I finished 2 pairs of socks that were taking up 9-inch circulars. I am keeping one 9-inch circular clear for when the yarn comes in April, because those are going to be vanilla socks, but I'm so excited about them. But anyway, I have put it on a 9-inch circular, so it'll be a little more zoom, even though I did do this whole leg in a day. So I don't know. I'm excited about that. Yeah, but I guess, okay, so my other 2, because, it's been probably, how much time do I think I've talked this week to you? It's been tens of minutes, maybe dozens of minutes since I last talked about my stretch goals. So one of them is this hood, and I'm pretty far on it. Like, the opening right now is about 7 inches, so that's pretty awesome. I think I want maybe like 3 more inches, maybe not. I'll try it on in another few rows. And then the other one is Ruby, the lovable huggable monster. Look, I have woven the ends. So I need to finish stuffing her head, sew her up, and make her legs. I could maybe do that this weekend. Again, though, if I don't get these 2 projects done, that's fine. They were stretch goals. But there's only 2 left on my stretch goals. So, yeah. I'm pretty excited about it. Hey, sunshines. It's, almost 2 a.m. Excuse me. On Saturday. And, I don't know, sleep just doesn't want to happen for me tonight. I fell asleep at probably 9 and woke up at 11:11. And then I fell asleep again around 1 and woke up at like 1:30 with my heart pounding. Like I was under attack or something. So I don't know what's going on in Dreamland, but it just doesn't want me to be there today. So, I don't know. I guess I'm going to start editing the vlog. I'm sure it's super long because I've checked in a bunch. And I just checked the temperature and it's 66 degrees, which means that I should be working on Karma's socks, but I don't really want to do that. So I'm going to check the weather later. Like when I'm actually up for the day. Hopefully I'm only up for like another hour. Excuse me, because I'm sleepy. I'm just not tired. Or no, I'm tired, but I'm not sleepy. Like my body's like, what are we doing? But my brain is like, doing all the things. We're doing all the things. I don't want to do all the things. I want to be sleeping. And I tried reading, and I tried a little bit of doom scrolling. I tried all the things that I normally do to like regulate and get back to sleep. It's just not happening. So I think I'm going to work on my best friend socks because those are just bringing me so much joy right now. and start editing. And I'll check back in with you hopefully in several hours after I sleep to see what my project for today is going to be. Also, look at this. I'm so not cute right now. Been having an eczema breakout for, I don't know, weeks now. Stress. It's unfortunate, but it's really bad today. When I woke up at 11, it was super scaly, like a lizard. Good morning, sunshines. It's Saturday for real this time. It's the 29th, and I did manage to sleep about 4 hours, which is so nice. So now I'm awake. Oh, look at that. Oh, so not cute. Anyway, I checked the weather. It's 49 degrees, which means I need to pull out my barn raising square blanket. This is actually really good. I do want this blanket finished. I don't know. I just haven't worked on it really in like over a year. I don't know. The last time I put a lot of work into it was December 2023. So I'm going to put an hour onto that blanket. I pulled the blanket out and I have 3 squares blocked and ready to be put in. And I have a space for 3 squares. I am not putting all of these in because I don't think I have time. So this barn raising square blanket has been a long time in the making. I've had the squares done for ever. I don't know, such a long time. I've had the squares done for such a long time. And I started seaming the blanket together by sewing these edges, but I hated how it looked. So I decided that instead of sewing them together like that, I would unpick the bind off and Kitchener each square, which makes it the seam very flat, very lovely, very clean, which means that to attach the squares, I have to unpick the stitches, put them on a needle, and then attach them to the adjoining square. So I'm going to do that here. This needle has been sitting in this project for a year and a half, just waiting for me to be ready to add the next square. So, yeah, I'll be doing that, which means I have to transfer these stitches to a different needle so that this needle is open so I can Kitchener here and here. So it's just, this blanket is lovely. It is a lot of like needle management. It's a lot of work, not gonna lie, but I'm gonna love it so much when it's done. I just need to work on it so it can someday eventually be done. It's got so many beautiful yarns in here, so I just need to work on it. So I'm going to today. My goal is to get this square in and see where that takes me. So 2 minutes after I started working on the barn raising square, my sister was like, hey, you want to go for walkies? Yes, the answer is always going to be yes if someone's like, you want to go for walkies. So I'm going to be gone for a while, probably 3 hours or so, because she wants to go to the serious walking place, which I'm so excited for. It's probably going to kick my butt because I haven't really been walking that much lately, but I am excited, which means I am taking, for the drive, I'm taking my best friend's blue stripy socks, and then for the walk itself, I'm going to take my croy sock and work on that. So we'll see about this barn raising square quilt. We'll see when I get home.
I said, Mama, so many mouths. So many mouths. That's such a good girl.
clearly I did not work on the corchet socks while we were walking. But it was such a lovely walk. And when my sister called me originally, we were going to go to this park that's like, I don't know, 20, 15 miles away, something like that. It's kind of far away-ish. Not really, but like it's a little drive. But then by the time she got to my house, and that's the park that's like, it's a walk, okay? It's a 6-mile loop. But I was like, you know what? I can do it. And then she was like, do you want to go to the closer park that's not a 6-mile loop? Sure. So I don't know how far we walked, but lighter walk by the beach. It was lovely. Like around me, there's 4 places where we might go for a walk. There's like the park that's like, it has a little kid park in it, and there's a little loop that we could walk, but it's small and there's not much to see. So like that's where we go when we just want like an easy mode, like, we walked today, but without like really walking. And then the other beach, or like the beach it's a decent distance. We were there for a while. And then there's a 6-mile loop. And then there's my favorite place to go walking, but we don't usually take her dog there because it's like a wooded path, and her dog is a chow, and her dog will be a disaster by the time we leave. So there's 4 places around me. But I'm so excited that we went for a walkie today. I love it. We were both like, we're going to do this more. We'll see. Hey, sunshines. Happy Sunday, the 30th of March. This is going to be the last day that I'm vlogging this month, even though I know tomorrow is the last day of the month. What am I really going to get up to on the first day back to school after a break? Nothing. So today we went and we got breakfast, and that was super nice. And now it's 57 degrees, which means it's time to attach some hexies. So sometime over the next while, I'm going to do 4 strands of hexies. I put in the hour on the blanket, and I laid it out because I kind of wanted to see how big it is. And I think that, like, I'm going to say that it's a 6th finished, because like a 6th is solidly put together, which means there's like nowhere in here can you stick your fingers through. Today I attached this here, and then this here. So that's what an hour's worth of work looks like. This blanket is laying it out. It's so pretty. And I think even once I get the 100 hexies attached this year, which I have to attach these so that they're attached right here. These, oh wait, that part is attached. So these parts here have to be attached. And then all of these need to be like actually attached. I think I'm still going to keep it on my list for a 100 project. Like even once I meet that goal on my crafty goals, because it's so pretty. But there's easily 100 hours of sewing in there. Easily. Probably much more. How long do we think how much time do we think has gone into this blanket in particular? Like, this is definitely more labor intensive than my mitered square blanket. Like any of the ones that I finished, any of the ones I'm working on, more labor intensive than the barn raising square blanket, I think. Like, I think this is the most labor intensive blanket. I should time myself making a hexapuff sometime to see how long it takes to make them. And then we could have an estimate of how much work went into this blanket. But My oldest kiddo just saw it and was like, oh, that's looking really nice, because they used to help me work on it when they were little and they know it's for them. And the goal is their graduation from high school, which is not right now, but they are in high school. So I do need to work on it. So yeah, I'm definitely, this is going to stay on the 100 days list even after I reach my goal for the year, I think. This week, having the temperature project has been really, really fulfilling to not just work on the projects that, I don't know if they were calling to me or what. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but it was nice to have a focus project that took me out of the projects that I was working on, because it was a nice break. And then when I got back to those other projects, I was like, okay, let's go. So speaking of those other projects, but I mean, also kind of speaking of the temperature thing, I finished the first sock for my best friend. Here it is. It's inside out, because I wanted to talk really quickly about how I handled yarn management whenever possible. So whenever I'm working in stockinette, basically, if I can knit in an end before I start using it versus having to weave it in at the end, that's what I'll do. So on this sock, see all these little ends? I knit those in. I did not have to weave those in. Those are just, they're knit in. I do, maybe someday I'll show you. But I just knit them in because that makes scrappy projects so much easier and more enjoyable for me. Is it the worst thing ever to sew in ends? No. Is it the most enjoyable part of a project? Absolutely not. So I knit in the ends both. So I put the, what is this called? The color change on the back and the bottom of the sock so that it wouldn't be noticeable when my best friend is wearing the socks. So when I was getting ready to color the change of color, I would start the new yarn and start knitting it in, and then drop the old yarn and knit over it. Does that make sense? So it took, a little bit of paying attention, but not really, because I had stitch markers for that. And just knowing when I was going to have to change the colors. So I had to weave in, I'm going to say 5 or so ends, the toe, the start for the cuff, and then a couple places where I cut the yarn at the wrong stitch marker and then had to re-put it in. So only 5 ends out of all of these had to be woven in. But yeah, I finished this sock. Even though it's still only early afternoon, I'm going to close this vlog here because it's very, very long. I do want to touch base with you just briefly on reading. I am co-reading, that's not the word I want, tandem reading, Tower of Dawn and Empire of Storms by Sarah J. Maas. I don't know which one is, what are they, books 5 and 6? I don't know which one's 5, which one's 6. But I'm reading them in tandem and I'm really, really liking it. My goal was to finish them this break and I didn't, but there are a lot of pages and I'm at, according to Kindle, I am at about 80% for both of them. Ooh, I can show you a visual. Okay, this isn't my graphic. Who is this from? Between Pages and Friends. But I did not update this. I just finished chapter 57 of Empire of Storms. So I only have this much to go. So while I don't think I will finish it today, and I probably won't finish it tomorrow, I could if I tried really hard. I'm pretty pleased with that progress, honestly. Look at how much I read over break. I read a lot. So I'm pretty pleased with that. Thank you so much for joining me on this this lovely staycation where I got to read and craft a bunch and try to relax, because as my face is telling you, that has not been a thing I've been excelling at recently. But I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling okay going back to work tomorrow. It'll be okay. I'm feeling less burnt out than I did a week ago, so that's pretty awesome. What are you reading right now? What are you working on? How is your spring treating you? Is your weather all over the place like ours? Because this week that weather was just all over. All right, I will talk to you again soon. Bye for now.